Whoops, animation. So I got my math test score back, and the teacher gave me a circle because she knows it's my favorite shape.
I think that means you got a 0 on the test.
Well, it all depends on the way you look at it.
Thanks, Cassie.
Well, I got 100 on the test, so I guess I got 2 circles.
Well, how about you zip your flapper? Oh, oops.
Hey, whoops, good save.
Thanks, man. I always liked you.
My pleasure. How is everyone doing today?
Good, got 100 on my math test.
God blessed me with a good score as well.
My circle was a sham.
Speaking of shams, whoops, last time you said you had evidence for God, right?
Well, first, the Bible says in
Whoa,
Genesis...
I'll stop you right there. The Bible says? You're sounding like Cassie. You trust that thing? It's a 2,000-year-old book that's probably been changed, if not made up entirely.
Wow, 2,000? That's 3 circles.
Well, we have over 20,000 early written documents of the New Testament to compare for any changes made.
Lucas, the man just raised you a circle. Are you gonna fold?
I don't care how many circles, written documents you have. Manuscripts rarely last 2,000 years. We will never know what the original said.
Actually, the oldest complete manuscript of the New Testament is written only 300 years after the originals. But we have pieces of the New Testament much earlier than that. In fact, we can combine these pieces to make half the New Testament, only 150 years after the originals. And there is even evidence to support the originals could still be seen at the end of the 2nd century, and they likely lasted much longer than that. These early pieces of the New Testament, and even complete manuscripts, could have been directly compared with the originals.
That is impressive they date back that early, but there must have been changes made over the years, and the Bible probably turned into a totally different book than we have today. It's like a game of telephone. Watch, I'll whisper something to Jimmy, and it'll make its way to Cassie.
Okay, got it. Jimmy has more circles.
Jimmy,
I may have fluffed it up a little bit.
you completely changed... Well, actually, that proves my point. We had a biased source that completely and utterly changed what I said.
You said utter, like a cow.
But it's different than the game of telephone, and we can see that by how few inaccuracies there really are. Of all the old Greek writings of the New Testament, on average there is only one difference every 6.5 pages.
So it basically hasn't changed at all.
That depends. How big are those differences?
Remember, there is no autocorrect. The vast majority of these differences are spelling errors, or synonyms of words. But by studying all of these manuscripts, we can be sure the Greek Bible we have today is 99.5% accurate, and of the remaining uncertainties, none challenge Christian beliefs.
Okay, based on that, I will admit the original books in the New Testament that were written long ago are the same as the ones today.
Attention, janitor whoops. We have a deceased squirrel out of room 2. We need you to, dispose of it.
Poor little squirrel.
The circle of life. A scary circle indeed.
Speaking of death, the Bible says Jesus rose from the dead, right? Why aren't there non-Christian sources saying this?
Yeah, the Bible would seem a bit biased, don't you think?
So you would trust a non-Christian saying Jesus rose from the dead?
Yep.
But if they thought Jesus rose from the dead, they would likely become a Christian.
Well, of course.
But because they are Christians, you don't believe them.
Nope, can't trust them.
But you would trust a non-Christian saying Jesus rose from the dead.
Yep.
Sounds like we're talking in circles.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going. I love circles.
Okay, but wouldn't you think we have writings from someone of that time period that isn't Christian at least say Jesus existed and did some unusual things?
You say this as if more than 1/10 of the population could write, or as if written documents often survive 2,000 years, or as if people write all the time despite writing on papyrus being very expensive. It is rare to find written documents this old.
You do have a point.
But despite these odds, we actually do have written documents from people who don't like Jesus.
Well played, old man. Well played.
So let me begin by listing some of these ancient sources. We have Suetonius, Pliny the Younger. Is there a problem, Jimmy?
Oh, no problem. I'm just more bored than the lumber section at your local Home Depot.
Well, Jimmy, how can I make non-Christian sources about Jesus more exciting?
Put it in song form. There's no other way.
Okay. Well, if it would help. Jimmy, give me a beat. Cassie, can you help us out?
I'm on it. Come on, Lucas.
Perfect. Keep it up. Celsus and the Talmud said Jesus himself even had some magical powers. Supernatural, sort of. They had no motive to spread Christianity louder. Marabar Serapion, along with Josephus, even had some things to say. He was a wise teacher, a king-like preacher, but was crucified one day. Flagon claims Jesus predicted the future and even said they came true. When Jesus died, an earthquake went by. He came back to life too.
Wow. That was cringe.
I thought his voice was lovely.
Wait, you're telling me that these people lived near the time of Jesus, didn't like Christians, yet claimed Jesus was a wise teacher with magical powers, and was crucified followed by an earthquake? And one guy believes the rumor Jesus came back from the dead?
Well, that's what the song said.
These people would have no motive to make this all up if they wanted Christianity to not exist.
So you believe?
Well, I'm convinced Jesus existed as a man and did some weird stuff. It's also convincing the Bible hasn't changed over the years.
Just like my underpants.
What?
Haven't changed them over the years neither.
I sense you still have doubts about the Bible, Lucas.
Well, yeah, all I know is the Bible stayed the same, but it could have started out wrong. The people in the Bible that hung out with Jesus could have exaggerated everything and probably made some stuff up.
But there are arguments to disprove this theory, such as...
Janitor Whoops, where are you? The kindergartners have discovered the squirrel.
Oh, gotta go. Continue this talk next lunch period?
You know it.
I know nothing.
Sure, whoops, catch you later.
Do you think that man is Jesus?
Jimmy, the man's a janitor.
Well, Jesus was a carpenter.
And I'm a student.
A student that got a 0 on the math test.
The math test. It's all come back, full circle.
Hey there! Thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of Whoops Animations. So what did we learn? 1. We have many early manuscripts of the New Testament. 2. By studying these manuscripts, we know the Greek Bible we have today is 99.5% accurate. 3. We even have ancient non-Christian sources claiming Jesus existed and did some extraordinary things. But how do we know that people 2,000 years ago didn't make up details about Jesus? We'll find out in our next episode. But first, let's give a special thanks to the Walkie Talkie guest voices of the week. You can find their social media handles on the screen or in the description below. Also, check out Inspiring Philosophy's YouTube video on the reliability of the New Testament if you would like a more thorough look into the topic. If you found our video useful, help spread the truth of God by sharing it with your friends. Bye for now.